Judging by your account, you seem pretty convinced that the Muslim Brotherhood will do well in the elections. What's the consequence if they win? What does Egypt look like after that?
They will they won't come up with all the agenda from the beginning. They'll take it step by step. But if you look at the end result, I see an Egypt that could be thrown back into mid ages. I see laws
into the Middle Ages.
Yeah, because they will come up with laws that says you. I'm quite fanatic about my scotch in the evening. So I mean, like, I don't like anybody telling me that I can't drink, or I don't like anybody telling me how my wife should be dressed like. I mean, his mom is very, open-minded, beautiful, yes, and she dresses completely, I would say, in Saint-Tropez style, very little long, so. So I'm sure she's not going to appreciate very much people telling her how she should be dressed, And as trivial as these small things appear, but it is your personal freedom. Only God can make everybody accountable. He has not given a mandate to someone to come on earth and tell us what to do. I mean, I am a Christian. I don't go and confess to my priest because I have a direct connection.
Does God talk back?
Yeah, it's like I'm going to tell him the story and he's going to tell God. I'm going to tell God immediately what's happening.
And do you think, how far do you think if the Muslim Brotherhood does well in the elections, how far will they go? Is Sharia law likely?
Yeah, Sharia law, the dress code, the no alcohol, tourism will suffer. The minorities and Christians like us and Copts will suffer because even now we are suffering. So what if they come? We suffered also under Mubarak. I mean, look, since January, 5 churches have been burned and ransacked completely. And not one has been made accountable for that. You see this, if you apply the rule of law and order, nobody would be upset. You won't have any demonstrations. This guy burns a church, he goes to trial, he gets a sentence, okay.
And why is that not happening?
Because they don't want to confront these fundamentalists, these extremists, because they are
scared?
They're scared to confront them, and they are worried if they confront them that they will initiate another reaction, Okay, but I mean, either you implement the rule of law and order or you don't. And then what are these poor Christians going to do? It's not a small minority, they're 12 million. Where the hell are they going to go? I mean, even Canada cannot absorb 12 million Egyptians,
You could try.
And why would they leave their own country? This was a Christian country. I mean, it's a Coptic country. The Islam came in the 7th century, and many of the Copts kept their religion, kept their faith, and we believe this is our country. So what you need is to draw similar situations in history. When the Iranian revolution happened, everybody thought the Shah was a dictator, the Savak was torturing people, so good riddance, and we'll have a democracy. And then what? We end up with a Khomeini that sends little kids with a key, tell them go and kill some Iraqis and don't worry, if you die you will go to heaven. 16 years old kids with the machine guns. So,
what should Canada do?
I think what they should do, like the rest of the West, they should have not watched this development as if nothing is happening, because it's not a fair fight. The the Muslim brothers are getting funding from Qatar. I said that to the Emir's family. I told them in the face.
And what did he say? How did they respond?
Oh, they said it must have been Sheikh so-and-so or Sheikh so-and-so or this so. I don't know. I mean, it's $100 million for Qatar. It's like $1 from my pocket, not a big deal, So how would they know who did this? And they know. And Saudis are financing the Salafis. And these liberal people, we are not financed by anyone.
As a follow-up to this point that you've underscored on the need for Western involvement, a concern, a counter-argument against that that's often raised is, well, if you have Western involvement, that will provoke a counter-reaction, and there will be a sense of Western imperialism, Western interference. You think that's wrong?
Well, I'm not talking about an open involvement, because because the Qataris are not openly sending money to the Muslim Brotherhood.
So this is an on-the-record call for clandestine
just
support?
like the others. I mean, there are two ways to do it. Or you send a message to the Qataris, do not send money or interfere in the Egyptian affair, and the same message to the Saudis, or you interfere. But you leave us victims to an unfair fight. This is just ridiculous.
Is there any Erdogan in Egypt?
Sorry?
Is there any Erdogan or any Ataturk in Egypt that you see right now?
Many, but they are scared. Many of them, because they become targets. It's like my joke when I send the Twitter, they want to kill you, will shoot you. I mean, so how can you argue against who has this guts? You think, after, I mean, you think I walk in Cairo with 6 bodyguards or with any armed, nothing. I don't walk with anybody.
Are you still suffering the ramifications of that tweet?
Look, I'm a guy you can't scare. See, nobody can scare me, I have my sins, okay? But I walk looking to God. I think He's next to me, on my side, so I fear no one. Whenever there's a problem with Him, let's go. We'll go and face these evil people and we'll teach them a lesson. So I don't give any. You can't scare me in any way, because I haven't.
But you did turn off your cell phones.
No, that's a different story, because our license, unfortunately, said that the government has the right to ask us for security reasons to terminate the service. And if we don't do that, then our license gets cancelled, which means I am, as a chairman of the company, can be prosecuted by my shareholders because I have vanished billions of value because I didn't obey the license agreement. A deal is a deal, whether it's right or wrong. But who would have imagined when we signed that deal that the government would want really to shut down the service because of the demonstrations? So we had no choice.
You don't regret that decision?
I had no choice. We're going to go out. I have my son here, and
you're going to go out.
We've got a bunch of guys here, and we're going to get drunk because we're not sure when I go back to Egypt to still be serving alcohol or not. So.